Hello and welcome to our Friday webinar. We're going to be doing things a little differently. My name is Spence, the Evil Genius, and if you've never been with me before, every Friday from 1WD.TV we give a live webinar. This Friday, which is tomorrow morning, because I'm broadcasting this now on Thursday at about 12 o'clock Central, I'm taking my 10-year-old up to summer camp in northern Wisconsin, and they have a Dad's Day weekend. So I should have gone from today, but I'm going to go from tomorrow morning through Sunday. And I want to make sure you guys have the content that you love on Fridays. So Carl is going to be broadcasting this as part of our normal process, but just know it's pre-recorded. I'm not actually here physically, but I'm going to be with you mentally, and Carl's going to keep me posted because I'll have access. So today what we're going to talk about is a great topic because it's the heart of what we do at 1WD.TV. It's the topic of 8 essential plugins that you should have launched or you should use when launching a new WordPress website. And in order to get us started, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the slides, but I just wanted you to see that I am here. I am recording this. It is Thursday, June 12th. At about 12:15, and that's 2014, by the way. Okay, so let's jump into the webinar. As soon as this launches, here we go. All right, I love this. Now, this is one of my favorite topics because WordPress by itself is fantastic, but until you put the right plugins in, it's sort of like one of those yogurts you get at Forever Yogurt before you put the toppings on it. You know, it's nice, but it really is nice once you got the right toppings on it. And same with WordPress. That's what you're going to be earning your livelihood from, following our instructions and my training here at 1WD.TV. How to build WordPress-based solutions because there's such a huge market and a need for it. Now, if you've never been with me before, I am Spencer Foreman. I go by the Evil Genius, and there's a long story behind that. And you are welcome to go over to 1WD.TV in the About page and check it out, or watch one of our archived webinars if you can find it. I talk about this all the time, but I have been basically the Evil Genius since about 2006 or 7 when my first online business started on another closed platform solution. And it was a great accident because it led to a lot of the branding that still carries me through today. If you don't know anything about me, just to give you a quick introduction, I am 47 years young. I am a single dad, and I have custody of 3 boys, ages 3, 10, and 13, which I managed to do along with everything else with running this company, along with Dinus and the team, and running my freelance business. And I find it actually gives me a great sense of structure. So for me and my personality, I'm a Scorpio. If I don't have a lot of things that I have to juggle, my brain looks for other things to keep it busy. I don't know if that sounds like you as well, but the less I have to do, the more miserable I am. So being a single dad actually seems to work out pretty well. I've been a lot of things, including a licensed attorney and a pilot, musician, but I've always been an entrepreneur since I've been a little kid, and that's really the focus of how I teach here at 1WD.TV. It's how to think like an entrepreneur first, and then be a freelance designer second. And that's different than what you've probably learned if you've gone to design school, where they do a great job in teaching you a bunch of, let's say, esoteric skills, but never really how are you going to apply those in the real world to make a livelihood, whether you're young or old or starting over or just beginning. I have 4 companies under my belt, starting with Widget Laboratory in 2007. Then that led to my first WordPress freelance venture at labsecrets.com, where I developed many of the techniques and tools that I used on my own freelance clients. And I was able to grow that to as many as 225 to 250 hosted clients at one time. And it taught me a lot of efficiency as well as how to actually work with WordPress. That led to a product company, which is labzip.com. And these Lab Secrets and LabZip are still in business. LabZip is where I took much of the early software and components and child themes and solutions and bundled them together so that I could sell them while I slept. And then that ultimately led me to meet Dinus over at firstwebdesigner.com, and we launched 1WD.TV in 2013, right around May, and in the last 12 months have grown it to a very comfortable 6-figure business, and the team has gone from just 1 or 2 of us to a team of, I think we're up to 13 people now. And I've been blessed to have more than 10,000 customers, clients, and students. And the focus that we have today is that it doesn't matter if you're young or old, rich or poor, where you live in the world, if it's your first time or you're doing a do-over because life threw you a curveball, you can become a freelance web designer and do it successfully when you think by entrepreneurial standards first. If you think first about why am I doing it, well, how am I going to get paid, and who's going to be my client, and then apply your freelance design eye, you're going to be much better off than the other way around. So today we're going to cover 8 must-use plugins that are basically under the following categories. That's how we're going to do it. There's caching, security, SEO, mailing lists, e-commerce, membership, optimization, and backup. If you'd like to share this link while it's playing, it's available at 1wd.tv/webinar, and you can also tweet out 1wdwebinar.com. I'm sorry, 1wdwebinar. The nice thing about working with Google now with YouTube videos is that I can do this pre-recorded, and yet when it plays live, it will be playing live as if I was doing it live, because even during the regular webinars, I'm actually broadcasting it through YouTube. So it's kind of almost the same thing, other than it's a 24-hour delay. It's the new wave. You are in the right place whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, an expert, or just WP curious. And the reason is that I have a philosophy that has kind of woven together all the various training that I do, whether it be the paid subscription lessons, or whether it be the free quick tips, the forum posts, the things that I do either pro bono or subscriptions. It's that there's a continuum of learning that goes from knowing absolutely nothing all the way to being an expert. And then all along the way, remember, it's not about the skill set. It's not about how good you are at PHP or CSS or HTML. It's about how good you are at applying whatever skills you have to making your livelihood. And you have the creative force here. You can build any kind of freelance business you want. It could be something that sells services or products or works with clients or doesn't. It could be the kind of business that has a large team or a small team. You just have to start thinking like a creator. Today's bonus that Carl is going to handle is that during this broadcast at the regular time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday the 13th, anybody who joins us as a monthly subscriber or under our new lifetime plan will be eligible to get one of 5 free software bundles. Those have over $1,400 of premium extensions and plugins. They are basically everything that you need to build everything that we teach and use it on an unlimited number of clients. It's a tremendous value. It's updated every Friday, sometimes a little bit more, and it's a 1-year subscription that you'll get for $97 of value free. Or I should say you will get $97 of value free. If you've already bought it or you buy it at the time doing your monthly subscription, then you are eligible to just get a refund. So I definitely encourage you, while you're listening to this, to be a person that goes ahead and gets the package, the access as well as the bundle, because you have a chance of getting a really nice freebie. To make it a little sweeter, we've had great response to this. The first 3 of you to join us as a monthly subscriber or a lifetime will also get a 10-minute Blitz strategy session with me personally via Skype. Now, I normally charge $75 a quarter hour, $300 an hour, and I have the ability to solve any problem under the sun, in most cases, that you can throw at me. I had a nice conversation with one of our previous winners, Roy, 2 days ago, and we got to chit-chatting, but basically it was a win-win. I was able to help him with an HT access problem on his server setup that was plaguing him, and he gave me a tip back, which is something about the new responsive 2 theme that's coming out. So it's a great synergy to get this. And if you're going to be joining us anyway, I mean, this is a huge incentive. So please jump on, go to 1wd.tv/sign up and grab one of the first 3 slots, get the extra bonus. For the rest of you, let's jump on in. So the first plugin category is caching. If you don't know what caching is, that's kind of like taking a Polaroid snapshot of a website. And the reason that's relevant is, imagine that you have a web server, and the web servers generally today run on Apache or Lightspeed or Nginx. Leaving Nginx aside, because that's kind of specialized and esoteric, Apache typically only has about 25 slots available at a time to dish up its content through its database. It's sort of like 25 payphones, if you know what those are, if you're my generation, or 25 parking spots. Even though there could be 100, 200, 300, 400,000 people coming to the website, it can only dole it out, the data, through one of those 25 spots. Lightspeed actually doubles that by a series of improvements, so that's 50 spots. Now, the concept is if you have 1,000 people and you want to dish up, let's say, a certain popular web page or web pages, you've got to get the people in the slot and out of the slot as fast as possible so that there's no perception of slowness. Otherwise, what will happen is, as you imagine, like going through the toll booth on the highway, there's going to be a huge bottleneck. Caching takes care of this by ensuring that every page is a snapshot and doesn't have to be dynamically loaded. And what it also has the capability to do is what's called preloading. And that means that somebody who comes to the website can get an initial loading in the background, they don't even know it, of the most popular pages. And this is amazing, and it's kind of something you've seen on almost every site today. The technology is used on everything from Google to Facebook. When you go to the main firstwebdesigner.tv or 1wd.tv homepages, you're actually getting loaded a couple of the most popular pages that the site is dishing up at the time. Now, we run our site on a very small, inexpensive reseller server account. We have a $1 a month account that we're running this site on to prove to you that you don't need an expensive VPS or any other major hardware to get your business running. We have over 5,300 members, and we've been running it for 12 and a half, 13 months almost, and we're running it on a $1 a month server. Now, First Web Designer has significantly higher traffic. It has a couple million people a month. That runs on a VPS. But the point is, caching is what makes this all possible. The two plugins that I recommend for caching are Quick Cache or W3 Total Cache, which also is known as W3TC. I have free videos showing both of them, but if you look them up at the WordPress repository at wordpress.org, and then you click on the Plugins tab, you'll be able to go ahead and look these two up, and when you do, you can see which one maybe suits your needs. I will say, though, it's kind of easy here. If you're a newbie or you're not a really experienced expert, I would definitely say start with Quick Cache. The reason is the Quick Cache literally has only two choices. And I'm going to show you real quick to make this easier. Let's go over to the live web page. You always have to see me every time I change screens, which is kind of fun for me. Let's see if we can do this. How can I do this? I have to open up a new web browser. Let's do that. Okay. Now I believe I can share this. Sometimes I look like I'm staring into space when I'm really not. There we go. Okay, you get to see my cool starting point here. Okay, so let's go WordPress.org, and then you can click over to plugins. Now you can also access any plugin by going into your WordPress installation and clicking on the plugins tab. So W3TC is what I type in. And this is the one that is really a powerhouse. This one really brings home the bacon, but it is very, very complex. You may notice, even though I don't have any direct relationship with Frederick, I did a video for him a while back, a couple years ago, about your WordPress site loads in 2 seconds, and he put it up on the page. I really appreciated that, and it's helped out a lot of people. This one is one I would steer clear of if you're just beginning. If you are beginning and you want immediate satisfaction, go to Quick Cache, and it's called Quick Cache Speed Without Compromise. This one installs in literally a minute and a half. It has only 2 settings, and you have nothing else to worry about. Now, there are many, many others that do a nice job, including Super Cache. There's even now I think it's WordFence or iTheme Security also has caching built into it. But for my money, these two are the ones that you should start with, and they're going to improve your site speed by a variety of ways, starting with the idea of taking a snapshot, metaphorically, of every page that is non-dynamic so that it can quickly dole it out. The speeds increase, by the way, I should say, is significant. So, for example, let me just talk to you personally. When you have a typical page, you can go to pingdom.com, Pingdom.com, and you can test your page speed. And again, I've shown this many times in the quick tips. When you do, a typical speed is going to be about 6 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds for a page that is not cached, that doesn't have anything extraordinary. When you use a caching plugin, whether it be Quick Cache or W3TC, you can oftentimes get that page speed down to loading in 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds, or even sub 1 second. Multiply that out times 100 or 500 users and many, many pages, you can start to see exponential benefits. That's going to help you with your Google ranking and also just customer satisfaction. both the person you build for and their clients. Next, security. I can't tell you how important security is in the WordPress world, not only because it's relevant to keeping the sites clean, but also because it's a great upsell for you as a freelance web designer. It's one of the key things that we teach in the 3-day bootcamp element of our coursework, where you're just getting started. Almost all freelance web designers in the artistic sense forget that people really don't understand how their WordPress sites work. It's kind of like Word for Windows or Excel. You know, probably 99% of the features are untapped. But imagine if every time you used your Word for Windows or Excel, you ran the risk of losing all of your clients or getting your data stolen or something. It'd be pretty scary, right? So security is an area that's very ripe for you to come in and act as the trusted authority, even if you don't know much. We teach you everything you need. The 3 plugins that we talk about that are really essential, and there are many more, including, I'm going to show you iThemes Security, is the Limit Login Attempts plugin, the Better WP Security, and Security. And there's 2 more. There's WordFence and, as I mentioned, iThemes Security. I'm going to show you both of those. Let's just bounce back over here again. I got to still figure out how I can do this as a shortcut so I don't have to keep bouncing. Okay, so let's talk about Limit Login Attempts. Again, you can get this through your site too, but just for simplicity. This is an older plugin, but it still works great. What it does is it prevents people from making multiple attempts at brute force login to your site. So if somebody keeps pounding on admin or whatever the username is, you can set it so it prevents them after a certain number of tries from getting in any longer. It basically blocks them out, blocks their IP, blocks the sometimes the area where they're in, depending on how you've set it up. Now this feature by itself is wonderful, but it's actually been incorporated into some of the bigger plugins. So for example, the iThemes Security, which I was just mentioning, which wasn't on the slide, has this kind of feature built into it. This one is very easy to use, but really, really feature rich. It's from the guys that have brought you Backup Buddy and other plugins. I really like this. You can kind of see in this picture here, since I'm not doing these live, that there's one-click install. If you want, you can just click the Secure Your Site button, and it gives you this little checklist here of 3 items you can do. Done and done. But then you can also go farther from there. There's lots of other options. The other one that wasn't mentioned was WordFence, and that's the one that has now this caching built in. I have tested it a little bit. It works pretty well. They have a funny name for it. I forgot what they're calling it. Falcon Engine. The Falcon Engine. Millennium Falcon Engine. But it works a lot like iThemes Security, and it's got kind of an easy setup or a hard setup. It'll also allow you to block by IP address, site activity, location, country. And this is really important because the 2 types of attacks that we get here at WordPress are always brute force, or you get somebody who's trying to do something with some malware. The malware is a different problem. Most of the time you have to deal with just somebody has a bunch of computers automated that keep trying to pound your site and log in with popular usernames like admin or administrator or the URL name of your site like 1WDTV. And it'll just pound it and pound it and pound it. And that basically prevents all your legitimate users from being able to even try to get on the site. Right? It's a denial of service in some ways. All right, now let's talk about the other ones. Better WP Security is one that's been around a little bit longer. Oh, I take it back. You know what? This was just a naming problem. I didn't realize this, so I take it back. They actually took the Better WP Security plugin and made it iThemes Security. So let's go on to the next one, which is Security, which is actually a third-party service and a plugin. And I love it because this is something that some of our clients have used after they had a problem before they had learned their lesson. The plugin installs and allows you to do a really quick security check of that site, and then it also refers you to the Security website, where this is the product here on the right side. It's $90 a year. I have nothing to do with them. There's no affiliate here. But if you've got a site that was a client site and it had some problems, then $89, they will clean it up, guarantee it, and keep it clean for a year. So what I've done in the past is just mark this up. Remember the story I've told you in past webinars about the shipbuilder's parable. It's knowing how to fix the problem that's the most valuable. So a lot of times if I have a client who comes to me and I meet them and they're in bad shape, I will charge them $199 to take care of the problem. Then I'll contact Securi and pay them $89, and I'll keep the markup. Obviously, there's more that I'll do, including continuing on to fix the site, but that's a great, upsell, along with the things that I've talked to you about before, like MailChimp, and we're going to talk about here. So don't deny your right to make a profit because you know the stuff I'm teaching you now. That's the whole point. Knowledge is power, and it's valuable, quite frankly, dollars and cents wise. Let's go on back over. Hello, hello. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. Okay, let's go back over to our slides. SEO. Now, I'm the first to admit I am not an SEO expert. I don't claim to be. I know enough to be dangerous, and I know enough to help make sure that, my sites, those of my clients, are in good shape. I rely exclusively on the WordPress SEO plugin by Yoast. This is a great example of when somebody does one thing extremely well. And Yoast, it's a funny name, is the expert, in my opinion, on the SEO for WordPress. And so let's just go on over and show you the plugin. He kind of owns the market. There is another plugin that some people enjoy, but I think this is sort of like reinventing the wheel. SEO Yoast. And it's now, let's call it WordPress SEO. Type in WordPress SEO. Here we go. WordPress SEO by Yoast. He's got a great website. Really charming character. Very well known in the WordPress community. So a lot of great stuff here. I'm going to give you some other tips too. Besides this plugin, which takes care of making sure that all of your content is written properly so that it gets the maximum SEO benefits. It also has other things like creating a sitemap, etc., making sure that your title tags and that your htaccess, everything about your site's SEO is covered in this very easy-to-use plugin. But I also say that you've got a great resource in Neil Patel, who is an SEO expert in his own right, maybe in many senses parallel or above, but he's not a plugin writer. He's got QuickSprout University. I think it's QuickSprout. Let's do quicksprout.com. University, right here at the top. Everything you want to know or learn about SEO, you're going to find it here. He's got an unbelievable resource of free videos that just go on and on and on and on. And that's his specialty. So link building, SEO, content marketing, social media, those are things that we don't really cover because that's not our specialty. But you can get everything you need here at QuickSprout University. Highly recommend it. And now back to the slides. Okay, I'm gonna be silly. You guys don't know me. Probably thinking, what's up with this dude? I like to have fun while I teach. All right, mailing list integration. This is probably the #1 way to make the most money knowing absolutely nothing yet. Because any client who has a WordPress site and does not have it set up with MailChimp or a mailing list is missing out on a gargantuan opportunity to monetize. Even if they don't yet have a product or a service to sell, having the ability to collect the name and email of every person who has visited and consumed their content is essential to being able to immediately make money when they're ready. You providing the service to them of setting this up and integrating it tightly with WordPress is hugely valuable. For example, the plugin that we provide for you inside of 1WDTV as one of the premium plugins is AutoChimp, and that allows somebody to set up a WordPress site in conjunction with MailChimp so that whenever somebody comes and registers for that site, they are already and automatically added to MailChimp. This is incredible, and it's what we do at 1WDTV. When you come for our free quick tips, as I'll show you, we add you automatically to our MailChimp mailing list, and then we continue to shower you in value. Hopefully you feel the same. Tons of free quick tips, tutorial videos, inspiration. It just keeps coming. The idea, of course, is that we want you to join our community, which is obviously a subscription membership, but we're going to make you feel like you found the best friend of the world because we're going to give you enough value to keep you in the money, to make profit, to inspire you, so that everything thereafter about a subscription is just going to be icing on the cake. It just opens up the gate to more. And that's the kind of experience you can deliver to your client so they can start their own business. Maybe they're a yoga instructor, an accountant, an attorney. Maybe they have a car wash. Maybe they like to teach piano lessons. Setting up AutoChimp with these features, and there's two other ones that are listed here, lead pages and gravity forms, which I'll tell you about in a second, are the start of it. So let me go over to the live screen. Let me give you a quick idea what this all looks like when it's bolted together. So first of all, MailChimp is available at MailChimp.com, and it's free for up to 2,000 people. So you can set this up for your client for free. You can send up to 12,000 emails a month for free. This is a crazy value. And they know why they do it is because they know you're going to stay. You're going to get hooked. We use MailChimp ourselves, and it's just an incredibly easy and beautiful thing because you as a designer can also build templates and actually handle their mailing list for them. But even at the base level, the setup, we charge $199 just to set this up along with the AutoChimp plugin. Now the AutoChimp plugin is what makes the connection. So let me show you. At 1WDTV, if you go to my account, I'm already logged in. Now let me just show you this. You may have seen this before. If somebody comes to our site with a free quick tip and they're not yet registered, they're going to not be able to see the following. So for example, I go to this video, there's content in there, and down at the bottom there will typically be a download link. In this case, that's a bad example because that one didn't have. Let me show you one that's got an obvious download. This one downloads the free coursework, but sometimes, like here, we have supplemental downloads. And what we want to do is make it that when somebody comes to the page, they know there's more content available, but we want to encourage them to register. And this is including you. If you're watching this video, you may not have joined us. So look what happens when I'm logged out. It says, hey, to grab the valuable download, please create a free member account with us. It takes only a minute. And when you click on it, it takes you to our My Account registration page where, when you give us your basic information, you'll be added to our MailChimp list where we'll follow up with you with really valuable stuff. I mean, you can opt out, of course, with one button, but it gives you literally free sample lessons, additional download materials, software plugins, etc. And that's the concept on how this connection is valuable to the person you are representing as your freelance client. You want them to understand, hey, whatever you do today is maybe not monetized, but tomorrow when you want to monetize, you're going to have a list of every person who's ever visited you and expressed interest in you, and this is how we're going to go about doing it. We're going to shower them with value. Now, Lead Pages is a great product that we also use that allows you to instantly generate landing pages that you can send people to and promote stuff. And you've seen this because you've used this for registering for this webinar. This is a paid service. They also have some free downloads, but it's very economical. And the other one that we also use, which is included, it's a plugin, is Gravity Forms. Now, Gravity Forms is in our bundle, and this is essential for building just about anything you need to handle mailing list integration. We use it for our own customer support. So if you click on 1WDTV/support, that's a mailing list or a mailing form created with Gravity Forms. And that enables us to not only represent and respond via email, but we can also log in and handle it locally. Really powerful. And these are the things, again, all potential upsells we teach you in the 1WD TV 3-day bootcamp course. So even if you're just starting out and don't know anything about WordPress yet, you'll be able to just follow our instructions like putting Lego blocks together and build something that you can sell to those clients who are in a particular niche. Again, you could visit your local yoga studios. You can go visit your music centers. You could get online and go to the WordPress.org forums and look for somebody who has a site but isn't doing this yet and say, hey, do you know about this solution? I can set it up for you. So what we're going to do now is let's go back to the slideshow. And the next one is e-commerce. Now we've got WooCommerce set up here because that's about the only one we recommend. There are many other e-commerce solutions. Don't get me wrong. The reason we recommend WooCommerce is because of its tight integration with so many others, plugins and extensions. Sensei for coursework, WooCommerce subscriptions for handling subscription membership, the plugins like Members plugin, and even things that are maybe intangibly related, but if you wanted to go ahead and have packaging slips or download of CSV, or you wanted to do special coupons, WooCommerce is the largest e-commerce plugin. I think it has over 1,200,000 downloads because it was created by a company, WooThemes, who's again one of the more popular and longer standing WordPress shops. And when we started building solutions for 1WDTV, we've built our own stuff on WooCommerce because of this very fact. Rather than taking a bunch of non-related plugins and trying to make them all work, it's much easier to start with the same core code base written by the same group of people and make it all work. So WooCommerce doesn't really need much more introduction. You can see it at work on our site and just type in WooCommerce and you'll be overwhelmed with what great support and other information there is to explain to you more. Membership, as I just mentioned, we use the WooCommerce subscription extension, and that's what we include in the bundle so that you can build a membership site with recurring payments for any of your clients. And this is really important in today's world because, yes, there is still a place for one-time sales, but your client, if they have any information or any kind of a service, is much better off when they can sell it on a recurring basis, especially when it's something that's digitally downloadable so that they don't have to be physically present for every sale. WooCommerce and the WooCommerce subscription plugin will allow you to set this up for them automatically, and you won't have to worry about much maintenance because it's a very stable, it's already in version 2.0 extension for WooCommerce. The other one, though, that is worthy of a mention is Paid Membership Pro, and I'm going to show you these two just because WooCommerce is an extension that's premium, and you can only get it, I just went back to the wrong slide, you can only get it by either buying it at WooThemes directly, or, again, you'd be kind of nuts not to, just go ahead and get our software bundle because the price is included. So, for example, at 1WDTV, if you go to sign up, we offer the software bundle for $97 a year that we've been talking about. And if you were to go buy any of the plugins that are in there, you'd probably have to go and spend more than $1,400, right? Like WooThemes, if we just look at their current pricing and you go to WooCommerce extensions, subscriptions is $199 for a single site. Multiple sites is as much as $399. So you can do the math yourself. This is open source software, so there's nothing that we're doing that's nefarious. The software is not what they're charging for. They're charging for the support. We support all this stuff ourselves. I wanted to mention to you and show you the Paid Membership Pro. So let's go back over to WordPress.org because I like the developer. We've done some tutorial videos with this product. It's a great alternative in the event that you might just have a single site or you want to experiment. Just type in Paid Membership Pro. There are other ones too that we've been testing. There we go. It's weird. I got thrown off here because normally the main plugin will show up on top, but the extensions for it did. So Paid Memberships Pro is the one that you want to check out as an alternative. And again, I can't say that we give this much as the support that WooCommerce subscriptions gets, but it's a worthy product and one that's worth checking out if you're just curious. Okay, so let's run through to our next slide, and then I'm going to give you some thoughts on these things. Optimization. So I was mentioning to you before about Pingdom, which is the site where when you're testing the optimization of using a cache or doing some other things to speed up your site, you want to see whether that's working. And this gives you the ability to immediately test that. And let's just go ahead and look at it. So I'm going to bounce you back again. I know you can't believe I keep doing this to you. We're going to bounce back over to the live screen. And so if you go to pingdom.com/tools, you could type in the URL of any website and see the load time, right? So if I typed in 1wd.tv, it's going to give you an analysis, a breakdown of the load time. Now, something to keep in mind, the first time that a page that has cache loads, it's going to be slow or slower. And the reason simply is that it's like the Polaroid picture has to be given to your browser once. But then the second, third, fourth time, whatever you visit, like browsing another page, it's already going to have that picture, so to speak, in its memory of the elements that are not being refreshed. So we're doing pretty well. For a first-time load, 1.94 seconds is really, really brisk. There are things that it gives us like downgrades on that are kind of esoteric, like combining multiple style sheets. We are guilty of having a lot of style sheets here, which is just a necessity of running e-commerce. Same thing with JavaScript. So you can kind of go tongue-in-cheek on some of these, but look at the load time speeds. That's a big deal. And how many requests had to be made, right? Because if you have way too many things loading on your front page, it's going to tend to slow things down. Let's see what happens if we do it a second time. I bet you it's a little bit faster. Let's see. I could be wrong. Something went wrong in that, so let's try it again. Something went wrong, something went right. You never know. Now, something's really strange here because it's going off the shelf. So what's interesting, too, is that my performance grade improved. The load time went up 6 times. There's also a history here, which is kind of cool. And the reason I like that is you can see here historically what's been happening when this site's been tested. And if you're making improvements to your client site, you can see also the various things that you're improving. So you can see I've been playing with this for a long time, and generally when I'm not breaking it on purpose like here, it's under 2 seconds, which is a good, ballpark of something that works. All right, so now let's do one other thing. Let's go back over to our slide. I think we're on our last slide. Oh, we got one more. Right. So backup. Now backup is something that you can handle this through a plugin like Backup, Back WP Up free, or you can even use paid plugins like Backup Buddy. But there are many people, including myself, that feel that using Manage WP is an option. That's an online service. Then there's other plugins that are mentioned here, like I'm not sure Manage Pro. To be honest with you, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure why it showed up in my slide. I think it's a typo. So I'm going to take a look here because, quite honestly, I would not lie to you. I don't know what Manage Pro Premium is. I think we've got a new team member that was helping with the slides today, and I think somehow that got translated from my notes incorrectly. So I'm just going to type something. Manage Pro. Yes, I have no idea what that is. That is supposed to be Manage WP. So it's managewp.com. ManageWP.com is the service we use for managing multiple clients, and it's got a wealth of services in it. And you can start it with 3 sites for free, and even when you start to use it, it's like 80 cents a website per month. It gives you an enormous amount of benefits, and you can go ahead and go down to the bottom of ManageWP.com on their pricing plans page and use the free sign-up up to 5 websites, 14-day trial. But for backup purposes, this does it out of the box. So I like this one a lot. And then I also like, if we go to WordPress.org, backup WP free. Let's type this right. Back WP up. Sorry. Very quality. Enjoyed the use of this. I've done a quick tip video about it. It's pretty easy to use. No big issues. If you type in backup at WordPress, you're going to find so many plugins, 652 plugins. So quite frankly, don't even get me started. Online backup for WordPress, I think, was one that I also just recently tried and reviewed. Give these 2 a try. Back WP Up free, managewp.com. You will not be dissatisfied. I want to mention again, this is another example, and all the while that I'm doing this, these 8 essential plugins or services are there so that you can go and approach your freelance clients and say, look, I know I was here to fix this little thing or make this thing beautiful, but I noticed you don't have any backup service in place. I handle this for my clients, for a small amount per month. I can make sure that your sites are always backed up. Would you like to do that? And by the way, I can bundle that with my hosting. We have this earn $3,000 a month by hosting. You can combine a bundle of little tiny, easy to do services that are really no technical requirements at all. And it's 25 for this, and 50 for that, and 100 for that. And next thing you know, you have maybe a dozen clients paying you $250 a month. That's a real life business income, especially if you're living in some place that's very economical to live. Maybe Southeast Asia, like most of our team in the Philippines. $300 a month goes a long way. So I encourage you to think about that. And when you're doing these or experimenting with these plugins or services, keep in mind, I'm not telling you those just for your own reason. I'm telling you because those are the things that we teach you how to use in the 1WD Bootcamp and beyond, so that you can think like an entrepreneur. Always be selling, right? Like Alec Baldwin in Death of a Salesman. He said always be closing. I say always be selling. Let's finish up here on some of the slides. Remember, we're going to have Carl running the 5 software bundles. So if you haven't gone yet to 1wd.tv/sign up and grab something, please do now. But let me just run you through. This is our software bundle in version 2.3. It's about to go to 2.4 on Friday. And these plugins are all available for a premium price. They're all extensions or plugins you cannot get. And likewise, we include all of our themes, our custom child themes, which we normally sell for $97 by themselves. So it's a very valuable bundle to have, mostly because once you have it, it's kind of like Legos. If you can build anything you want with Legos because you've got the instructions and the Legos you need in one kit, isn't that easy? Now imagine you got a kit and you can build an unlimited number of solutions with Legos. In this case, an unlimited number of client sites without any more payments. Everything you need can be used over and over again. So remember, we're going to give the first 3 of you to join, if you haven't done so already, a Blitz strategy session with me. And you just have to go over to 1wd.tv/signup and join us. Either take just the training, which is everything we have, software bundle, which is all the software for a year, updated weekly, or the combo, which is a great price, our most popular. And you can also apply for a scholarship. We've given out over 750 scholarships to date. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Just tell us your story, why you think you need a break. Maybe life is throwing you a curveball. Maybe you're young and don't have any cash, just getting started. We've had some real inspirational success stories from all over the world: Romania, Hungary, Asia, UK, Americas. We've got another letter going out today about one of our attendees, no doubt, Captain Walt, who is striving to get his success level up so he can return to the Midwest from the East Coast. I think he's really close to doing so based on his recent success with following our training. Since you're here at the webinar, you get 17% off. So it wouldn't even be $47. It would be $39, and that's your lifetime price. As long as your subscription stays active, it'll be $39. That's almost 20% discount. It's 17%. Just go to 1wd.tv, get started now, and use the number 613 as your coupon code. This will also apply as a discount on the combo pack. So, most important thing of all my webinars is to remind you, just get started. You can't go on any long journey without taking your first step. You can't learn how to be a successful freelance web designer if you're not actually interacting with any real people like we teach you to do on the training, as well as in our forums and all the things that we talk about in here today and on all of my webinars. You need to take action. So let me give you a quick sneak peek, if you're ready, of what's really inside of 1WD.TV, where we're encouraging you to come join us and over 5,400 now, I believe, members. So we've got 174, I think that's actually now up to 179 because I added 5 more today, video tutorials with step-by-step documentation. 788 active forum topics we have 6 experts in there now. Nico, Dennis, me, Carl, Mike, Roljan, Algene. We've got a bunch of users who are now, they're students, but they're now practically experts in their own right. 86 quick tip videos with all new videos almost every day now. In fact, that's been my goal to get back on track on that, so we have every day now putting out 1 new video. 25 ebook guides that cover freelance psychology and strategy. Of course, the plugins we just talked about, and you have access to me and the other experts and moderators and all of our coaching and support from even the other freelancers starting out. There's lots of camaraderie there. So don't, undersell the importance of that when you're frustrated and you just need somebody to kind of bring you back down to earth or pick you up, whichever the case may be. This is where you come, and we see it every day. Speaking of the people, I love talking about Carly. She's still with us, and she's a single mom like I am. And, the flexibility of having access to a group of experts, a group of peers, is undeniably something that every freelancer needs, especially if life has thrown you some curveballs or you just have a family or some other responsibility. Now, we got about this has crossed over 5,400. I just saw it. So 5,400 registered designer members. We've got 406 paid subscribers that contribute monthly. We've got 784. That's the scholarship recipient number, not 750. 784 folks. Maybe you're going to be the 785th. Just tell us your story. You go to 1wd.tv/scholarship, or from the sign up page, click on scholarship, and just go ahead and tell us why you need a little help. We're not giving anything away for free, but we're definitely giving significant help on discounts so that you can get in at a price that still leaves you with skin in the game, like my friend Mark Cuban says. Our breakdown is between 35% beginners, 36 intermediate, and about 30% advanced. So again, our material and the level of technical advice and support is going to be something for everybody. As I mentioned, our team of 6 inside the site is really running this like a family. The value we really kind of make clear to you, hopefully up front and through the follow-up emails, is that we have a webinar every week. All of those are archived, 2-hour webinars, just like today's, and a new one every Friday. We have a private Facebook group and forum. We have our unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee, so you'll never get stuck by trying it out. You try it out, and you have my personal promise. If you don't like it, your money is refunded. Very few people have done that, and I think that's because the value proposition is so clear. Discounts and scholarships, as we mentioned, and I think this is a little higher nowadays, but we always say there's probably $6,400 more of value that you can start accessing for as little as $39. Software bundle we talked about. I won't waste too much of your time on this, but you're welcome to come back and look at this and pause the YouTube. The online access bundle gets you, again, for $39, taking advantage, your 3-day bootcamp module, which everybody should take, whether you're experienced in design or not. First steps, next steps, and last steps modules take you in a linear fashion through the things you need to start doing today, even with no experience, to build your livelihood, make your first $300, all the way through really advanced customization stuff, PHP, CSS, JavaScript, and so on, but all focused on WordPress. The updates are free. Forum access is free. Unlimited access to me and the others, no cost. Live training sessions, and mobile accessible. So you can get to this on a phone or iPhone, iPad, Android, wherever you are. You stop and take a break. So if you haven't done so, please do so now. We normally will have a Q&A session, but since I'm here a day before you, I can't do the Q&A, but you do have my invitation to send me a question at 1wd.tv/signup. 1wd.tv/support, and just go ahead and send your questions in. There will be people, I'm sure, in the live chat room during this webinar that will be able to help you also. So some of our students are likely going to be participating, as they always do every Friday, and I encourage you to do that and give us a try. As I said, 17% off, just $39 to try it. You have 30 days, no questions asked. You have my personal promise, and use the coupon code 613 at Get Started Now. Now, I always conclude by reminding everybody that I live by a personal philosophy bestowed upon me by my grandfather, Max Foreman, who lived to be 91 and a half years. You know, he told me that the Foreman name, my name, was given to me in perfect condition, and that my goal in life, professionally and personally, was to leave the world with my name in as good a shape or better as I found it, or as it was given to me. And so therefore, everything I've done online and off, but in your case, online, I provide my personal promise. I put my face on it that says you have my guarantee of your complete satisfaction. If for any reason you don't think that this is the way for you to improve your freelance lifestyle or to make things happen in your freelance web design career, you have 30 days to make that decision and then ask for a full refund. Zero problems at all. Normally this is where we do the intermission Q&A, so I'm going to ask myself a question. Spence, yes, Spence writes in and says, tomorrow he's going to be in northern Wisconsin. Will he be relaxing and enjoying the benefits of having the freelance lifestyle so he can take off and be with his kids? Why, that's a good question, Spence. Yes, he will. And I hope that everybody here is going to be doing the same, because it is Father's Day weekend after all. So Carl is now going to set up the drawing for those people who have not yet bought. If you're listening or watching this, buy now, or type something in the chat room that says, Carl, stop, I'm buying right now, because you need to buy access to the monthly membership or the lifetime. in order to be eligible to get the free $97 bundle. So this live drawing time is going to happen, but I'm going to give you one more thing to consider. I just want to make this clear. I'm going to jump over here real quick, and we're nearing the exciting part. I want to take you over here because we just launched this last webinar, and we had one person who took us up on this. So I want to actually make more of you aware of this. We created a new lifetime access option. It's right here. So instead of being month to month, you pay one time, and you have access to everything we've got inside the site for as long as we're here. Basically, that's what it is. It's $1,197. So you can do some math. It amounts to the basic proposition that you think we're going to be here more than about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Because if you're paying our standard retail price, that's how long it would take. But the upside benefit of it is that you get, I would say, the peace of mind. Because what we teach you is not how to make $47 or even just to get $300. We teach you how to build WordPress solutions that generally earn you between $1,200 and $2,400. That's a pretty average price for a WordPress-based solution. And we show you how to do that in an efficient manner that oftentimes you can do in a matter of under an hour, literally. One of my videos is just showing you that using the TV dinner approach, where you have pre-made these solutions, you freeze them, and then you just customize 5% of them. It takes 5 minutes or less per site. I think I did it in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. And you can still charge the same $300 to $500 minimum, sometimes as much as $600 to $1,200 for that site, because it has all the features you need, and your clients will pay for: e-commerce, video, membership, social networking. So think of it like the idea that if we could give you a solution that you know you have participation to the community where everything you need and all the support you'll need will be, it's not a bad proposition to just pay once and get in. So no pressure. You can still do it month to month, but you might be considering this also if you are an existing member and you want to convert to a plan. Maybe you feel like that's your way of showing support. Either way, we welcome it. Now for the drawing. The drawing. And normally I have to include some sound effects here, because Carl will not be able to do that. Okay. I have to return you to the actual slide. Okay. So Carl's going to be typing into the chat room. Carl, if you hear me, you're going to be taking from the winners first. He's going to typically cover the, let's see, I have a slide here that's the ending slide. He's going to be covering first the 3 people who were the first buyers. So Carl, please go ahead and type in the chat room. And the winners of the 3 sessions, the 10-minute sessions, the Blitz sessions with me are, and Carl's typing it in now. I'm going to take a pregnant pause for a second. Dun, 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 dun. We have enough time? Okay. Now, Carl's going to type in the chat room the 5 winners of our $97 bundle. Those are the people that have joined us as either monthly or lifetime subscribers and have been drawn at random. Carl has the software to do it. And Carl, please read off the names, or I should say type the names into the chat box. And those were the 5 winners. Just got their cash register. I'm going to drive whatever few of you are still here away with my sound effects, but that's how I roll. And finally, Carl is probably already done so, because I think I made a mistake. He's probably already listed a big thank you. I want to say a big thank you, and for this I'm going to come on screen. Carl's listing out the rest of the buyers, there I am, who have purchased today and joined us as monthly or lifetime subscribers. I want all of you to know how thankful I am that you take your time with me on a Friday, especially with a holiday weekend coming up, and hopefully learn something new that you didn't learn before. But we have so much other great content, so I encourage you, if you're not yet ready to join us, I don't know why, at least go over to our quick tips area at 1wd.tv/quick-tips. 85 plus really quality videos. Maybe you're going to find something of value that you haven't learned before. Since you've registered with us, hopefully there, you'll be getting follow-ups in the mail with new and fresh stuff, including some inspirational things to help you with your freelance career. And I hope that at some point you'll ask for either a scholarship or you will just join us for a month and see if what I'm telling you today is not 100% accurate, which I am wholeheartedly telling you it is and more. So I want to say thanks again before I depart, but I am now going to depart, finish packing the bags for the trip. And tomorrow, I hope to hear from Carl that we had a great replay of this. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great holiday. So until then, this is Spence, the Evil Genius. And I'll see you next time.